I'm going to read some poems from a collection of poems that I'm compiling with the title Faux Ice. And the collection begins with two quotes from David Marriott. The first is from his essay on crystallization. Crystallization reveals what appears to be concealed, but that was never actually concealed. And the second is from his book of poems called The Bloods. Light is but a purer darkness. Roman street sweeper. It was from chance that we leapt and scurried through tight magic inlets. We saw leaping for the kind of gnosis soon incinerating itself with gleams from custom starship rims. There's a new reach for the same back and forth talk about becoming a halo. Speaking in streaks and shards of black ice in each other's shadows lit up on Roman road, we swear it's us drawn out and us snapped back to tug by even a chink of perspective. Lapping folds we couldn't step to connect through the phone to this side of the dark, sensing hot ops through side door shop front windows, flowing off curbs like about a street sweeper doing your thing without face. Watch how we move on telepathic screens. Soft life like vital spiritual food. Our directives now flat from the relief of being seen hard to press. Techno-marine. After Monkstar, Klein and Skepta. Sonic press to eject the more not less force, pound by force, to lucidly wake up your two-bit dreaming tendrils, your neck back tingling in this cyclical mind trap. Sonic press to eject the more not less force, pound by force, to lucidly wake up your two-bit dreaming tendrils, your neck back tingling in this cyclical mind trap. Still on underground London train, can't see the lost and found. Misheard some kid say, fall short of essence and spectacle. Shot of gleam of jewel with the force of a techno-marine. To connect the more looks around the pressure encrusted, iced out skip and lack of any protection. Soon sent to leave, landing in dense set space where hope is coldest for the hope to relay. Lifetime jest among the bricks and burners after you. Chasing the same boreal Saturn, already so many stars like death and re-emergence, I want to stay freeze blank with the hope. More time seen lost to heart's own smog, mystic highway. But let's say when you walk the wind blows after the fact you're not even more real inchoate life. Not notoriously anodyne, silent bleating, hearing body heat get spun in the park. Starbright ice. Sense Orion's sliding, shining ice, glass, metal, selene. You might see me in the rhythm in the streets, real heavens dark. Breath, bleed, crang, paradisal. Overtures as if Cupid drops through polished screens. Rested, folded seals, rest-filled harmonic, that you listen and know not to get it twisted. Will star them through gazing. This your last borealis over each indistinct meridian, enfleshed but slowed down, turned out on a gurney. It isn't cheap in south or east, so you leave early. Spider knots and hitches on warm waterways, visitations for blonks, tuned up leaving them clean in two. We don't matter about holding what time needed, sending us circling off-white like Virgil, it's real life, not virtue. Limitless empty orchestral lines, evil gully, jars and listens, cuts through on resurfacing crystal verge from the heights of outdoor plazas. It's a plush morn dragging ice and smoke into subtension. Each and every one of them bars will make you scream side by side. Soft spread lyrical arsenic with the coefficient of an ancient glacier locked up like shine. Intimacy's compound registers bending true astronomical north. Whether it's one of your people, Jump in a ride with one of your people's cold dress codes, phasing out by streetlight, bleached by bomb light. Not our usual night walk from the deep, spliced unleavened, mixing star-bright ice, subdued from chance. Faux ice or the same as fantasy. Half-mast appetition in the mist at eye level, lurks whipping long over dim-lit cranging, two head-turners at the risk of sunset, bodied over draping hopes for last orders at the tip of last mast next to two marching bands. Flag them far, far off the way, clasping too many stars in their hands. Distant ocean tides of exoplanets gravitating past this Gordon center of the township left us in doubt, guessing whose life enters our intravenal layers and layers of unreachable looks dipping out through a copse. Cloves soaking a cistern right down to the touch of bone. Thresh with ludic dreaming or more manifest, you make it sound so beautiful. Cut off, you're not real or more real from the heart. You sing too much still from the crisp, crepuscular, noiseless flecks of magenta shine on a wave you wake with. It sticks to the brain like sound bites from the Wizard of Oz. Cuts to render a cold reach along a strewn league of chapels. Go back gathering up all your worn writtens donned sickly sweet, drawn from cop streams without purchase. Shout out this winged beat flies a cold scare. Listen and let it through your heartbeat's chain of rings. Head down flat to the chest on the jaw side. One other world through which you miss the point of fact of who's talking back to you now. Bint this effort for precision verse, brutally holding to your last dectects of air surfacing far removed inside the heads of steel bars. We've been lost, been laned, casted indexing a shared lesion, counted 10 shots to the back of the scully under black pastel blue and velts of hawthorn. We created a constellation against the world as an illusion of separation. Dust and density just trying to glean a swerve, waking dark after images in decantatory notes of E, look. Audible glints cresting small bays and shores tendering city waves and germinative thralls. Make the miraculous crang lift and circumvent a hollow mast's glib rejoinders. Cove a stone-blanched polynomial along an ocean's surface tension, clanging the constant presence of disaster and discovery. The brink rubs touches unhandled, indirect wrench or haul, forever grasping on the move, for the ground is suspect, calling everything to pass. It's all curtains for them, not our black bodies anymore, for even to be corpsed by mistake. Flecky, inexpressible pathway, sifted earth, bitter solid, lacerating dint down a minted sunrise. White faces cause friction burn. Fine ice with the pressure of dark stars. An apple core in an apple rings out a weightless, now hollow backroad sound to a secret keepsake. Distended and depositional passage, diamond cut by hard scorn, but see, they can't see the view that I see. The view that I see is too icy. Look. Where is it? Still dark wash gushed us, spinning us black. Ethereal dreaming that we crossed, short-circuiting all cadences of the heartbeat, no change to the words untimely bussing, that we hear us from all ends of the visceral clamour in single myriads, unseen from when we made realness forever return, burst baseness of verse, to link us outside without running on a pull-up in the darkness, leading deep enough to get us lost in remaining in whole arrays of sun. Carrying inside us each celestial movement without change, making us see change, all along remembering our share of coalescence. What are we to look at, and how saying it won't figure a line of flight, jade or fluidity upon air we dress in glints of sunset. Eyes touch, waters humming mid-drift out of focus, rotates its pulsations. So much history just settled there as an arc-leveling suite of denuded sea greens into fuchsia pink F majors breaking live notes and looks away like surf. Evidence of things not seen as black, blue, vermilion. Deck of flesh over dusk in its already dawning. Dust kicked up dawning, with only tertiary gleams to signal dying seen woven into the impossible, seen stirring our sophonophores. Diasporic at the same time seeing us in our lofty originary leave, roving where we are, all the way to this thing dispersed. Round here we got our place in the sun, saying even then, what happens to our straining to feel? Leaning, seeing wind in between the oppressed, times gone spurious around sameness of exhaustion, conjectures of detritus that we breathe from their dry fores and ashen finesse. We hosts of their memories high water, mineral echoes of grief, can't help but fall in and out the dark wash together. Held up jettison away from self-snaring, couldn't get away whispering ultramarine, knowing full capture in escape. No more sacred in the small outside, that no one else heard the system in the stoma. None listened in for love but for apotheosis, rewrote the blank indeterminate main. Fleet of foot through stone your marsh meadowwood unlike daystar, ritual, still life the fuck the police. A black body is sacred everywhere leaving no clues. Unlike daystar, ritual, still life the fuck the police. A dead black body is sacred everywhere leaving no clues. Raised interlacing sheets of sleet ice in the iris under a deep rift. Carousel, redshift. Look into redshift, beaming us walk, rolling, still stretched out, still smoothing the image of where we cut, black voicing, eliding all edging out velvet reach, and flecting redshift's porous departures. Implacable fibrous rift, rioting aurific scree without when it sunsets. Natural needing natural, say if real, recognize real. Birdsong the skyline, raised in tonal and alloyed, freeing from the straining steel, your closely unheard jubilees, every cityscape jump beat, your unrecursive collision again, I enfolding cold oration's witness of what we say of our collapse and hiding and sink, washed us over. We could opal beam the end of the night, lose the clamour our friends generate, slip a lack of passage together, this meeting of our earliest moments singing softly to me. Nothing safer than these moments drifting aerial traces of farmyard encased in windsweep. Cadences talking to you is talking through you without losing you, feeling our cold air distilling a slow, duppy shroud in neon high street octaves, remaining war caught in moonlight fray and parting behind who we are, that we appear iridescent when we look at the same clouds at night, like jet stream is how we redshift at a distance, like large pearlescence. We had a foothold in this touch of a sweet ethereal essence at the same time, earth no longer splitting odorless emission from given exsensual after we spoke of us, yet our shining crests the blackest runaways, screaming warped more and more how I want to feel already alive with the clasp of the slip of some of your other long-connected ruin, still retaliating, kicked across maximum barring. Everywhere redshift bleeding hints, curved and curving the timeline, carouseling where we missed above, seeing us down resounding some mucky phono optic blue murder, we could go on into old night. Back and you before none of us still could step to the pier's edge, preeing what looks lovely but's our futurition here, ruggish blank believing, tenoring our absence of truly unaccustomed redshifting under dark deck of dubplate. Sliced ice up a nerve inspirits the wrist, because inexpressibly full with what words can do to time. hearing the immaculate weave from redshift, nothing like redshift beaming us, spinning us black, circumgathering a mantra, high rings clearing indirect tense across cordless. Shades of its gleam late on a schooner replete on the verge, hiding a bleached negative back ahead to pure words you come down on. No names to show us hearing, decantations pouring airs, lapping tinctures. We look out from small shrills, I imagine us laughing, all our angles turning over the midnight sighs. Break maroon flesh like air, your profile locked, bruising real together, cold palms that can't grip, clasps clean and airtight, glossed lowly, evincing nothing coming over us. Wind-blown dying starlight heights, down to the gleanest block tip, edged to crack the ways our staring lesions, black bodies like slapped hardened but dull integuments. Ancestral smoke-filled room, climbing blunt park rigs, grades dark as any day we walked home, passing as a mystic forests stowed away and legged out heartache for makeshift studio shawns. Faux ice to set the bits of redshift pressing down on us in a real run in plain dark sight, black clit scrolling, risen like piercing together unreal mind rept, plus but its concrete, noxious preeming, framed for the dead out friends back to the gleanest carousel, high floor raids on our lised hems in duffel form. Cold gold metallic night to touch, from when we used to prang a 16 bar in the red, when it was heard black surf speaking a warm compressed in 3s and 2s with no insides. Not anymore looking at anything we leave behind, but ever pervading parallax. Oceanic inner sounding like ocean praise itself. Leaving for jungle Rima, lording Eski, looking for crisp, searing Tet through the coldest airs we speak between recollections, only to come back to your breeze past me. Trance resonant stare on speakerphone, back along sheafs that plain laid cast, mystic wisp inside us on Friendly Street. For 9-hour long whereabouts unknown, left alluvial, scattershot, like sea bream glaring unseeable waves of garms that we redshift under our breath at the doors of the dance, rep-minded, lacy, suffering terror earth, sagaciously being purely obsidian trace, inseparable teeth, chain and ring, lyrically shots our change, money, exchange, money. Pass storming gloss-tet caught in the throat, wet release and charge of tone light. A small copse on the fly conjectures wild flays of mist elegiac or soft innocuous tug on Coptic nerve. Birch trees shining a forest staccato fading above songbirds, daylighting, fleshed out, no ancestral pauses. If you think I'm real, I take my timing to your big dead echoless even zeal. You, we, shadowing secret police, seeing us dying, taken for dissipated rich, gestations or stomas, spinning us black, angulating out from small rows, the edges showing nothing restored. Setback or dematerialization, Coptic sense of air enfleshed, ghostly crowned apogees, mystic heartbreak, redshift repetition, the distance swept and flipped what we didn't tell. Thank you.